Hello, I am Mustafa Yusuf from Class 10A, and I will be reading a story written by me called The Singular Floret. Amidst the muffled wind whispers of a March breeze sweeping against the drawing room window, Vanessa was hauled to a hyper-alert state by the clink of an Instagram notification. She rushed to her laptop laying idle on her study, and with a feverish intoxication raised the lid and found a message by an anonymous account cloaked with a cryptic name and a black screen for their profile picture, probably to conceal their identity. A text from an unknown messenger added substance to her vain desire to be socially visible. When her eyes finally fixated at the words that had reached her, it was a real ego death for Vanessa. At Skinny Princess _05 said, "Oink oink goes little Miss Well-fed Vanessa." The rime of insecurity crystallized over her delicate mind. Vanessa, in an attempt to divert her mind from the incident, ran out to the backyard meadow and seated her sorrowful self on the time-worn swing set. The air she carried seemingly weighed tons on her frail shoulder, and despite being a harbinger of thrill and fervor in the past, her eyes blurred with a film of tears just impulsively traced the streaks of rust sprouting from the chains of the swings as she was pushed forth and brought back. She could neither comprehend nor articulate the feelings that she pinned down under a misty shroud, feigning self-acceptance. After all, words are futile devices. In her contemplation, she decided that the past is a past, a bridge to nowhere. She rinsed herself clean of the parasitic thoughts her mind housed with a brief sleep. When she rose from her silken bed, she noticed a cascade of notifications, all with a similar premise to that of the first. She then instinctively looked up from the dim-lit screen of her laptop to find herself looking at the pale silvered surface of the cracked mirror hung up on her living room wall. Her reflection appeared to singe her velvet skin like a needle piercing through a thick skin of leather. Over the forthcoming days, she spiraled away from the sun and further to the floor. Her malleable consciousness drove her to even skip meals. In her preoccupation with physical appearance, she even would purge the little food that entered her system. The radiance of her previous self had finally been eclipsed by a veil of dysphoria. One day, when she lay a husk of her past self on her bed, she brooded over the fact that the flowers strewn on her bedside table had ultimately shriveled up to a brown due to her ignorance. Like some divine providence, this floral lamentation opened her eyes to the burnout and immorality of starvation. Her first order of business was to block the accounts that had drowned her to the ocean floor, where all her eyes could trace was a vast blue of the sadness that had been infused. And slowly she dusted herself of the deeply ingrained self-doubt and stood up from the soils of cyberbullying, using cyber safety as a means to shield herself from future narcissists who may have valued outside appearance with an unrestrained obsession, but their actions mirrored the truth of who they truly were. She thus became a singular flower, materializing from the fissure amidst the torrid grounds, adding beauty to a barren landscape. Thank you.